thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a review style video. It's going to be focused on indie brands. So I did a video similar to this about a month ago and it got some really good feedback. I think people like to see indie brands, newer brands, brands that aren't talked about maybe as much. And so I thought I would come back and do another review style video. So I do have a few different brands here that I'm going to be chatting about and reviewing some products. I have the Black Moon Cosmetics Orb of Light Full Moon palette. I also have some single shadows from Divina Cosmetics. I have glitters from MBA Cosmetics. And then at the end, I'm also going to be reviewing a few products from Prismatica Cosmetics and also Dominique Cosmetics. So we have a lot to get through today, so why don't we go ahead and get started. So I'm going to kick it off with this palette right here. This is from Black Moon Cosmetics. It is called their Orb of Light Full Moon palette. So this is what the packaging looks like, and when you open it, you do have a mirror, and then you have these 8 shadows here. This palette is $48 and can be found on the Black Moon Cosmetics website. I will have everything linked down below. I will also be doing close-up shots and also swatches of all of the products that I'm going to be talking about. There are 8 shades in here. They are all matte. Kind of when I look at this palette, I immediately kind of get like fall vibes, like I don't know if this sounds weird, but when I look at this palette, like I think of leaves. I am also really attracted to the shades in this palette. I love that we have this big shade here, and every time I use this palette, I always use that shade. I'm someone who's a really big fan of setting my eyeshadow primer with a really light colored shade like this one, and I love when I go into a palette, I love being able to do a full look with one palette, and I always need that shade. And you know, a lot of palettes don't have it, and so I'm always reaching into another one first so I can put that down so then I can start my eye look. So I do like that we have that one. This first one right here, I believe they do have names. Yes, this is Strawberry. I don't think I would have guessed that was its name. Strawberry. There's the shade names are on the back here. Strawberry, it's a very light color, but it's really nice to kind of blend out colors on your crease if you don't want anything too deep or, you know, too dramatic to change a look. It's nice for that, for an inner corner, or to just lighten up the look. Sometimes when I'm doing an all matte look, I'll kind of really put like the emphasis on the outer part of the eye, and I'll kind of just leave the inner part of my eye completely blank, but sometimes it just needs a little something, but I don't want shimmer, I don't want sparkle, I don't want glitter. I can come in with a pretty light shade like this and just kind of liven things up, make it look a little bit lighter in there. The second shade here is called Cold. These shades are kind of funny. This shade is kind of interesting because it's kind of like a brown gray, but it's not too intimidating. This is kind of a color that I look at it and I think mud on my eyes. You know, when I start blending it, I'm like, that's gonna be real muddy, girl. It's really not that intimidating when I put it onto my lids. It's not my most reached for shade out of this palette. The shade that I really love out of this palette is the next one here, which is called Worm, which is a really cool, it's just that kind of like mustard yellow color. I think this color is so cool. When I saw this palette first come out, that was kind of the first shade that my eyes went to. I've done quite a few looks with this shade here, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful to pack on the lid. I think it's beautiful to put into the crease. I feel like you have some different uses of this color, but I just think it's really a really cool color. And the next shade as well, I'm also really into this color, which is called Harvest. This one is just like a cool, it's just kind of like a cool rusty orange shade, I would say. I'm not the best at describing shades, of course, but that shade is also very fun. Again, you can pack it onto the lids, you can put it into the crease. I think all of the shades in here for the most part are very blendable, and I feel like I've been able to use them very well. And even the shades that I am packing all over to the lid, I feel like I don't have to play with them a lot. Like I feel like there's a very good quality of the shadows in here, but this shade I'm also, and then like these two together, loving it. The next shade in here is called Blood. Oh, okay, that makes sense to me. This is something that I don't use a ton either, I will say. It's just not, it's a shade that intimidates me. I mean, I'll just go ahead and say that. Color and just shades outside of my comfort zone, they intimidate me. So this is one that I haven't used a ton of, and I think the first time that I used it, I was kind of just blending it into the crease, and I didn't find it to be as blendable as some of the other ones. And then especially because it's a darker color and it's more of a red, I kind of was like, oh, I don't know if this is a good idea. Same with this one here. You know, darker colors sometimes can be harder to blend. I'm also not a blend master, so, you know, I always try to keep that in mind. But sometimes darker colors can be harder for me, or they can just take longer, and I have like patience. Like, my patience level is not great. So that can be it too, but I do like that we have a deeper brown. I feel like all of these colors, like, I feel like they all go together. I will say this one pulls more brown. This one pulls a little bit more of like a gray to me, but I kind of wish that there was something different with these two. Like these ones right here, I feel like this is more orange, this is more red, but these, I don't know, I just feel like they're similar. And then especially because we have a black in here too, I just wish maybe there would have been a different color in there. But honestly, like, I don't even know, like, I'm not someone who does redesigning palette videos because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I will say that. The black is nice. Again, I don't use black a ton in my palettes. I have used that one. One time I used it as like a shadow liner, which I did not do a lot. I think it was one of the first times I used this palette and I was like, what am I doing? This was a terrible idea. But it actually looked really good like that. I've also used it on the lower lash line as well, and I thought that that one was a nice shadow. Overall, for the quality of the shadows in here, I will say that I was very impressed. For the most part, everything seemed to work really well. It's $48. You do get 8 shades. That is pricey. You know, sometimes indie brands do have to be higher priced, and I understand that, but sometimes it is a bit of a bummer. But I would still recommend this palette. I've had a really good time using it. I like the shades in here. I find myself reaching for this palette and kind of just being inspired to do something a little different than my norm when I go into this one. So I really do enjoy it. Now, as we get into the spring summer months, typically my makeup goes a little bit on the lighter side, so I don't know how much I'll reach for it now, but especially once fall starts coming around, which I don't even want to talk about because like we finally just got warm weather, but once that does, like, this is like such a beautiful fall palette to me, and I can see me trying to do that leaf look. You know what I'm saying? But for the first product that I tried from Black Moon Cosmetics, I was very impressed. So next up, I want to talk about Divina Cosmetics. Now, Divina Cosmetics, I feel like I first really started hearing about them from my friend Angelica here on YouTube. I was talking to her one day about, you know, I just love the looks that she creates with her eyeshadows and all of this, and she actually purchased some from Divina Cosmetics and sent them to me. So it's not Divina Cosmetics sent them to me, it was Angelica that sent them to me, and I was like, thank you so much, girl. I was so excited, and she chose out my shades for me. We've done a collab video like that too. I'll put that down below, but I thought that was really sweet. So I just have them in one of my big Z palettes here, and the shades that are from Divina Cosmetics are these ones right here, not the contour shade, but these eyeshadow shades right here. Now, looking at the Divina Cosmetics website, it looks like the majority of their single eyeshadows are $5, which is super affordable. I think that's amazing. I noticed on their website too, they have kind of bundles on there that are their, they go by months, like February bestsellers, March bestsellers, things like that. I thought that was really cool. I do have a tutorial on my Instagram. I will leave it listed down below. It's for a all red look that I did, and I was using the Divina Cosmetics shadows, and Angelica said she was so proud of me that I did something kind of outside of my comfort zone. I did red. I was like, yeah, girl, thank you. But kind of like the star of the show of that tutorial, I would say, was this shadow right here, which is in Blazed. So they do have the names on the back. Again, I'll do close-ups of each shadow, and I will also swatch each one and be inserting those so you can see what they look like. But wow, I am impressed with these single shadows, okay? I am very impressed. If you are someone who you really like the single shadows, you like to kind of create your own little palettes together, you prefer it that way instead of buying a palette and you're not going to use all the shades in there, check out Divina Cosmetics, because I've tried all of the shades that she sent me. I've tried them all on my eyes, and there's really not a one that I'm like, nope, I didn't like that one. So Blazed was a beautiful red, and it has a bit of a sheen to it. This one right here though is also really gorgeous. This is called I'm Just a Dandelion. Well, would you look at that? And how beautiful is that color? And it translates on the eyes so well. I think that shade is gorgeous. The other ones she sent me are mostly mattes. This shade, super cool, reminds me of the Black Moon Cosmetics. This one is in Courtney. Desma is a really beautiful purple, if I can show you here. I mean, really, I'm really impressed with these shadows. For the price of them, I think they're amazing. The quality of them, I think that they are great. I really want to kind of like make my own little palette with singles. Like, I kind of want to what word am I trying to come up with? I want to challenge myself to do that, and I've kind of started already, like thinking about like my perfect shades that I would put in there and all that. You know, I'm just so inspired by so many of my friends on YouTube that have such creative minds. They really push me, like Angelica, you know, LS, Georgia, all the gals I'm always talking about. But they really do inspire me. So I really want to do that, but I would definitely be looking at the Divina Cosmetics website because I think the quality of these shadows are so good. So I would love to know if you guys have tried Divina. Again, we're looking up here. I would love to know if you've tried Divina Cosmetics as well, but I would recommend. So next up, I have just a few products to talk about here from MBA Cosmetics. So MBA Cosmetics, I believe it stands for My Beauty Addiction, I'm pretty sure. So I feel like they are pretty like most well known for their glitters. So I have two glitters to talk about and then kind of like my glitter glue that I was using. So MBA Cosmetics, they did reach out to me and I got to pick out the products that I wanted to try. So I picked out a pressed glitter in Ballerina, and then also the Chromalights Foil FX glitter in Prismatica. And then I wanted to get a glitter glue as well because, I mean, these are glitter, so they are not an adhesive at all to your eyes. So they recommend right on the website to use something to help, you know, kind of make them stick on your eyes. So I thought I would just go ahead and try out their product as well. So I, of course, will have their website listed down below. The Foil FX glitter was $10. The pressed glitter was $7. And then the glitter foil and line FX was $6.50. What I want to start off by saying is that I don't wear glitter a lot, especially when it comes to glitter like these. I feel like there's a lot of user error on my end and I can get a little bit overwhelmed with glitter. The easiest glitters I have found to wear myself are the Stila glitters because I just feel like they're so easy to swipe onto the eyes and then you're done. So I was a little bit more intimidated by these, and so I just want to point that out. So the first one that I tried here was the Ballerina. And again, I will go ahead and put in a swatch photo that I did on Instagram that I shared. So this one here is Ballerina, and I mean, it is really beautiful, okay? And it was the pink glitter. I was very excited about this, but I instantly got very overwhelmed when I was putting this on my eyes. I just struggled, and it's just really why I want to say that I don't do this a lot. I don't do this technique a lot. I'm still very new to like loose or pressed glitters like this. And I struggled, and at one point, like, I just had glitter all over my face, and I really tried, and I really wanted to love it. I just was not good at it. I wasn't good at it. I don't know what else I can say. When I was trying to apply it onto my eye, it was just kind of going on in, like, patches. Like, I didn't do a very good job, and I felt so bad because I feel like I'm not doing it justice. And I want to keep practicing, I do, but when I got done, so like once I realized this was not going to go well, like, okay, I'm just going to try the other glitter on the other eye, and the same thing was kind of happening. Even though this is a pressed glitter, it kind of comes off on the brush as like pretty chunky, and I don't know if that's where my struggle was, that it just didn't look seamless. It didn't look like everyone else on Instagram doing it, and I was like, dang it, girl, this is your fault. So I would recommend these if you're good at glitter, or, you know, maybe if you want to practice. If you're not good at it, if glitter is not your thing, and you don't have any interest in them, I don't think you need to run out and get these. But if it is more of your style, your thing, and you know what you're doing, I think that these could be pretty nice. I just felt like I had a lot of user error with it. The pink one did look pretty though. And then I tried this one here. Now this one is $10 versus the $7, but you do get a larger pan. So here is this is Prismatica. This one was pretty cool too, but again, I mean, it's the same thing. I just struggled the same way on the other eye. And then of course, glitter is glitter, and I don't know. When I was having troubles with the first one, I tried to add more glue when I was going in with this one, because I also realized I was getting a lot of glitter fallout onto my face. And kind of at the end, I mean, I kind of look like Georgia Harris in her video the other day. No, I'm just kidding. She had glitter all over her face, and it was so funny. I clicked on the video and was like, yes, girl, this is why we're friends. She cracks me up. But I definitely had a lot of glitter on my face. I had to take a lot of time to remove all of the glitter. I had to wash my face again and all of that. glitter like this is just hard for me to work with and just not my personal favorite. But for the actual products, they do seem nice. We'll also say that, you know, they do have the disclaimers on their website. And I think it was on, which one? It was on the back of Ballerina. Say not cosmetic approved. And on the website it says, you know, the glitters aren't FDA tested and they're not recommended for cosmetic use. I think a lot of glitters are that way, but I'm just gonna throw that one out there. But I don't think the prices are bad on these glitters. And I mean, just to give an idea of the size comparison, so this one is $7 and this one is $10. I mean, I think that you would have these for a very long time and, you know, they could take you pretty far. I just would recommend, if you know what you're doing, if you're comfortable or you're willing to try. I don't know how often I'll be reaching for these because, like I said, I would just prefer the Stila glitters. I feel like they're quicker and they're faster for me to use and they're more user friendly for me personally. It was fun to try these. I wish they would have worked out a little bit better for me, but for the actual quality, you know, just reviewing without user error, I do think they are nice. So that's MBA Cosmetics glitters. So next up, I want to finish off with Dominique Cosmetics and also Prismatica Cosmetics. Now, these are both brands that were started by bloggers. I'm going to talk about Dominique Cosmetics first and the Latte Palette. So Dominique Cosmetics was started by Kristen Dominique, who is a blogger and YouTuber. I'm not 100% if these are both indie brands, so I wanted to put them towards the end. I couldn't find anything stating they were or stating they weren't, but I thought I would include them. They're newer brands, you know, they were started by female entrepreneurs, which I thought was really cool, started by fellow YouTubers, and I just thought that it would make a good addition for these videos. Indie brands can be a little bit tough to decipher which one is indie and which one is not, because an indie brand means it's an independently owned brand. Some people think that that means that you can only purchase via their website, and that's not necessarily the truth or the case. I don't know, it's not that serious, but like for example, Dose of Colors is an independent brand, but they are now sold at Ulta. Too Faced Cosmetics was an independent brand for a very long time, and they were sold at Sephora and Ulta as well. They are no longer an indie brand because they were bought out by Estee Lauder, but it's not something as simple as where the products are sold. It depends on who owns the company, and sometimes it's hard to find that information online, but I hope that makes sense. But I thought I would still be able to review these products. Now, the first one I want to review, like I said, is the Latte Palette from Dominique Cosmetics. You can find this on their website and then also on Ulta. It is a $42 palette. You get 10 shades inside, and you also get a mirror. First palette is the Latte Palette, and she has the Lemonade palette coming soon. I don't believe we've seen the inside of it yet though, but I'm curious to see what she comes up with. I was very impressed by the packaging of this palette. I like the big old mirror that we have in here, and the palette sizes, the shade sizes, I mean, they're pretty decent in here. I thought that was pretty cool. I liked the shade selection in here. I think it's very pretty, and I feel like this is definitely a palette where I can create a full look with it. I like it for me personally because I do like neutrals, and I do like my warm brown smoky eyes. I do them a lot. It's kind of one of my fallback looks, but I like that we do have, you know, a couple pops of color in here that are fun. I like the addition of the shimmer shades in here as well. It is mostly mattes in here, but I like the 3 shimmers, and I like that the 3 shimmers are different enough from one another. I've used all 3 shades and they're different enough, which I appreciate. I get a lot of kick up in the palette when you dip into the palette. I noticed that right away, and I get zero fallout on my face when I use these shadows. I think everything is very blendable. I will say that I feel like you have to kind of build shadows up, which isn't always a bad thing, because especially because these are easy to blend. Sometimes it's not a bad thing to build up instead of being too intense and too overboard right away and then really trying to like tame your look down. So for me, I feel like it's a good palette also for beginners, or, you know, someone who maybe doesn't have the blending skills like some people do on YouTube and Instagram. I feel like it's a really nice palette for that. I do have it on my eyes today, and I did film this look for Instagram, so this tutorial will be going up on my Instagram soon. I think this is a beautiful palette. I'm very impressed with it. I'm very impressed by the quality of it. I like the packaging of it. $42 again is more expensive. Again, if we're going off Dominique Cosmetics being an indie brand, sometimes indie brands can be more expensive, like I was saying. It's really cool and really exciting that it's sold at Ulta. You can use your points, and Ulta has a great reward system. So, I mean, a huge congratulations to Kristen Dominique. I mean, creating a brand, I'm sure, is very difficult. To be able to get into Ulta is very amazing, and I'm impressed by this palette. I would recommend it. So I'm gonna finish it off with two products from Persona Cosmetics. So I have the Identity eyeshadow palette and then also the Cali Glow highlighter in Zuma. These were both sent to me from Persona Cosmetics. They actually saw one of my Will I Buy It videos where I was talking about the highlighter and ended up sending me over the highlighter and the palette, which I was super excited about. So I'm gonna talk about the palette first. This has been out longer than the highlighters. So this is the Identity palette. So I think the packaging on it is super, super cute. And then inside you also do get a mirror, and then you get 12 different shades, and this one is $32. Persona Cosmetics was started by Sonia from Simply Sonia, who is a blogger and YouTuber as well. And then you can find these on the Persona website, and they also are available at Ulta, which is super cool. I feel like Ulta is really like doing the most right now with getting new brands in there. I've been really curious about this eyeshadow palette because I hear so many good things. I don't know if I've really heard a lot of negatives about this palette. It seems like a lot of people really like it. I enjoy the packaging. It feels nice and sturdy. I like that we get that mirror in there. The shade sizes are pretty large as well. I think $32 is a spot on great price for this eyeshadow palette. I really do. You get the 12 shades in there. I like these tones in here. These are definitely like my vibes and my tones. And the shadows are very, very nice. They're very easy to blend. The shimmers in here are so beautiful, especially this Sassy here. Boom. I mean, you don't even need a setting spray or a damp brush for Sassy. I love putting Sassy on my inner corner for just like a bright inner corner. That shade is so, so beautiful. I also enjoy that we have Humble in here. Again, it's just kind of that first shade that I put all over my lid. It's very like a light pink shade. Some of my favorites out of here are kind of these three right here. Charming, Audacious, and Chic. I love that Chic is more on the purple side because I'm really into that right now as well. But of course, like the browns and the oranges, I think those are beautiful. Maverick was just a little bit, like a little bit hard for me to blend. Again, we're kind of going into a darker shade there. Could just be me, but I thought I would mention that. Then some of these other shimmers in here, Gold Digger is absolutely beautiful. It's a fantastic gold. I don't know what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say gold. And then Bombshell. I really like the Bombshell color as well. And it was one of the first shimmers that I used out of this palette, and I don't know if I really knew what this is going to translate to on my eyes, and I'm literally going to do a swatch so I can kind of try to explain it as I'm looking at it. It almost has like an olive kind of undertone to it, but it's just, it's really cool. It's a really cool shade. Some shades are better than the others, I think, but overall, I think this is a really, really nice palette. I think the quality is there. I'm very impressed with it. For $32, I don't think you can go wrong. One thing I will say though is that I just feel a little bit limited in the looks that I'm going to create with this, which might seem strange because like I said, like I like these tones, I like these vibes, but if I were to put this against the Latte palette, I'm actually reaching for the Latte palette more because like we just have that purple in there and the blue in there, and I don't know what it is. I feel like I can create more looks with that palette, and I feel like when I come into this one, I'm kind of doing the same things with just like a little variation to them. I think maybe what I'm saying by that is that this is a really good neutral palette, like especially for if you don't really want to think about, you know, some days I have those moments where I'm like, I can't really think too much. I need to do one of my go-to looks. I can reach in this and do this. You know, maybe if you go to an office job, this could be a good palette for you. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something that I realized about this when I noticed I wasn't reaching into it as much as I was some of the other palettes. It's just something that I wanted to touch on, but that can be a pro and it can be a con. I just wanted to throw it out there that that's what I think about the Identity palette. But overall, I think this is really good. I think you're getting good quality out of it, and I'm excited to see what their next eyeshadow palette will be like. And then also the highlights, these are a new release from Persona Cosmetics, and they are called the Cali Glow Highlights, and I got mine sent to me in Zuma. And Zuma is described as a champagne pearl. Love the packaging on these. These are $24. Nice sturdy packaging, big ol' highlight, nice mirror. Very impressed by this. $24 for one highlight is more expensive, but again, you can also find them at Ulta. But I think the packaging, the quality is there, and you're getting a really large highlight, which for some is great. For me, it is a good thing, and I always touch on it, but I've never hit pan on a highlight, so so sometimes size really doesn't matter to me, you know what I'm saying? Okay, this is the highlight that I have on my cheeks today, and whoa-pow. I mean, would you just look at that? Would you just look at that? This is a stunning highlight. This is so stunning. The first time I used it, I was like, you are not here to play. Are you Persona Cosmetics? No. If you love beaming highlights, super easy to just whoop on to the face. I mean, you can check out the Cali Glow highlighters because these are pretty darn phenomenal. The only con that I will say about this one is that it does have some glitter in it. And when I opened it, I could tell right away that it had some glitter to it, and I was like, oh no, this is not gonna go well. But it really doesn't translate to the skin. It really doesn't. I don't feel like it looks like I have flecks of glitter on me. I really don't. I feel like it's such a smooth and beautiful highlight. Like if I look really, really close, maybe I can tell, but you know, like for real. Although I think it looks very smooth. It's very beautiful. I'm super, super impressed by these. If you're on the hunt for a new highlighter, I would definitely recommend these. Again, the price is just a little bit high for a single highlighter, but it's not the most expensive out there. I mean, the Becca highlights are $38 and all that jazz. But overall, I'm very, very impressed with these. I believe they have 3 different colors that you can choose from. Great packaging, great product. Nailed it. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video, chatting about some indie brands and giving some reviews on the products that I've been trying out. I hope that you found this video helpful, my reviews, some of the swatches on the products that I was talking about. Let me know in the comments down below if you've tried any of these brands or any of the products that I was trying out. Let us know your thoughts. That's always super helpful, not only to me, but other people reading the comments. Everything, of course, will be linked down in my description box. If you want to see another one of these videos as well, please do let me know, and I will definitely be working on that. But otherwise, if you guys did enjoy this one, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.